moving on, our first speaker today has inherent traits of amazing speaker right from the start. He's the newest addition in our club. He joined just in March this year, and now I see him already taking me aback with his speeches. Please help me welcome my very first speaker for today, Toastmaster Prashant. When life keeps you locked down. When life keeps you locked down, Toastmaster Prashant.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vandana, Toastmaster Vishnu, and all of you. When life gives you lemons, you make a lemonade and drink it. But when life gives you lockdowns, what do? This is the thought for my speech today. A very warm welcome and good evening to all of you. We are now just coming out of the second lockdown, but don't worry, I am not going to take you back to those moments which were probably depressing to many of you and the issues we all faced in these lockdown periods. The working from home as a year-long practice has proved to some of us its benefits, but also thrown many challenges on our home front, on our personal front. The thin line which was separating our work and personal life earlier has further diminished now, and for some, like me, it has totally vaporized. Work life has now seamlessly and sometimes hopelessly amalgamated into our personal life. We cannot differentiate one from the other. We are just left reminiscing the days we were having in our coffee chats, office, canteens, sometimes we were in the boardrooms. But not all is gloomy. There is some brighter side to the story also, the story of the lockdown. It has certainly given us a lot of time to reflect on ourselves, pick up some good habits or hobbies, and make us improve on ourselves. Now, let me make this talk a little more interactive with your help. So, what did you do when life handed you a lockdown? Not one, but two or three. Please post it on the chat window if you would like to share your thoughts. While you keep posting it, since I have also finished my speech in 5 to 6 minutes, I'll continue. Small actions, when done consistently, they lead to long-lasting results, right? These small actions become our inherent nature and our habits. We are creature of our own habits. So, some statistics to share with you now. Number one, 40 to 45% of our daily tasks are done habitually, means automatically, without even we being aware of it. Imagine 40 to 45% of our daily work is habitual. Number two fact, it is said that it takes 21 days to make or break a habit. So you want to pick up a new hobby or a new habit, all it takes is 21 days of consistent daily practice. And lo, you will be left with a good habit, or you want to break a bad one, just do it for 21 days. So these two statistics. Now, since it's a Wordly Wise Club, let's play with the word habit. It's a 5-letter word, H-A-B-I-T. Starting from the left, H. If you remove the first letter H from it, what remains? A bit. If you then remove the second letter A from it, bit still remains. If you then proceed and then remove the letter B, it still remains. The word itself is so sticky, we should just call it as sticky as a habit. Finally, you have to come to I, that is myself, I. Then you have to remove the letter I, then what remains is the letter T in the word habit, right? This T, I would like to call this T as standing for the truth, the true you, yourself. You just have to proceed from the outer layers, be consistent in removing each one until you go to your inner core and self-realize. So what actually prevents us from doing it? The key thing is the many distractions which happen throughout our day. From the time we wake up till we probably sleep, we are constantly distracted. We are not able to do deep work and focus on our work. One simple example is the constant notifications we receive on on our Twitter or Instagram or Facebook or WhatsApp or any other social media. Yes, dear friends, checking notifications constantly is also a habit. But why do we do that? Think for a moment, why do we constantly check for notifications? Because it gives the sort of instant reward system, or what is known as instant gratification we receive when someone likes or comment or likes our photo what we have posted. The anticipation, the act of receiving that reward, it releases a small amount of the motivating hormone in our brains known as dopamine. This dopamine released in our brain and subsequent reward it gets by the social comment from your friends further strengthens this habit. Now this habit has become an addiction. That is the exact reason why we also see many people getting depressed and disappointed because they would not probably get the number of likes they would have expected to see on your posts. During this lockdown time, this has increased manifold. Why? Thanks to the constant companion we keep it with ourselves. Not our spouse, but our smartphone. We cannot practice social distancing, unfortunately, from our smartphones, can we? So, how do we overcome this addictive behavior? It starts with becoming aware of what we are doing in the present moment. These habits are so automatically done that our habits become a second nature, right? We cannot differentiate between what we are doing now unless we pay attention and become aware of what we are doing now. For example, driving to office. You know you have started from home, but after a few minutes you reach your office. You don't remember what route you took or which gear you applied, unfortunately. These habits are such of a nature that it will take your brain away from the present tense. Right? Now, due to the lockdown, probably you would have overcome this habit of driving to office, but once the office starts again, hopefully soon, you will again get accustomed to this. Our brain cannot distinguish from a good habit or a bad habit. It just sees a repetitive behavior, dopamine released, strengthened, and it forms a strong neural network in our brain cells. And that's how habit is created. But it cannot make out whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. If that's a bad habit, then it becomes an addiction. But if it's good, then it helps us in self-development and realizing our true self. Now, as our brains cannot distinguish, we have to use our intellect to guide us to differentiate between the bad habit and the good ones. The I in the word habit stands for this intellect. By using this intellect, we can attain our true self, reach the letter T in the habit. Right? We know that smoking and drinking in excess is definitely a bad habit. Our intellect knows that. Moderate exercise on a consistent basis is good for health. Eating junk food is bad for health. Eating nutritious food, daily exercising is very good for health. So we should use our intellect to differentiate between the bad and the good habits. So in conclusion, my friends, I would like to quote Aristotle, we are what we repeatedly do. So excellence is then not an act, but a habit. Thank you.